Those are old people, right? I could consider something very long after the time, but after the purpose, but we know what it is. That's why the whole thing is everything that's good. We got to push it. Too much in the us. It's that. I'm not saying that. Hey, this is not good. I mean, like, we're all word of God. We good, James? Yeah.
We're going to seek that would like to call this meeting of the Mayflower City Council to order. Would like to begin tonight with our prayer and our pledge. For our prayer, we have invited and so graciously accepted was Pastor Philip Dearman, the new pastor of New Life Church, which meets over the community center. So, Pastor Dearman, if you come up and lead us in a prayer to get started.
For letting me be here. Just bow your heads with me. Dear Heavenly Father, we just come before you today with humility and gratitude. Thank you for the opportunity to gather and do this, to serve our community and steward what you've entrusted to this council and the city. Your word reminds us that just every gift and is from you, Lord. Every good and perfect gift that comes from you. So we just want to acknowledge that tonight. We just ask that you would continue to bless this city, Mayflower, and expand its influence, Lord, its unity and its impact to those here and those around it. God, we just ask that your hand be upon the city, just guiding every leader in this room, every decision that comes from this place, and every step toward the future. Just keep us from harm, keep our families from harm, lead us in a way that honors you and serves the people well. God, we just ask that your presence is in this place. We ask that you would allow us to lead from a place of wisdom and truth, God. We just ask that every decision today is not done hastily, but with care. The discernment is used, that a deep sense of responsibility is placed in every action that we do here. God, just give us clarity where there may be uncertainty. God, just ask for just any place where there may be division, let us be united and find a unifying front. God, I just ask for wisdom beyond human understanding. Lord, just ask your favor over the city of Mayflower, its families, its schools, its businesses. God, we just pray for blessing and peace to mark this city, and that this city be a place of integrity. May it be a place where people flourish, God, and that your goodness is evident in all that we do. God, we honor you today, and we just commit this time to you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor David. If you all would help me with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call the roll.
Lloyd Pickman.
Here.
Cal Marks.
Here.
Snyder.
Here.
Larry Hill. Ricky Hammond.
Here.
Randy Holman.
Here.
All right, first order of business, the approval of the minutes from the February 2024 council meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from the 2024 council meeting. Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Looking at the February 2026 financial statement. Need a motion.
Motion to adopt the executive for February 2026.
Second. Motion and a second. Ms. Barber, could you call the roll?
Mark Hickman,
Yes.
Kyle Martin,
Yes.
James Snyder,
Yes.
Ricky Hammond,
Yes.
Randy Holman.
Yes.
Under general business, item A, request for payment for the Main Street paving project. In your packet, I believe you would find the invoice for the pay application number 1 that we discussed for the Main Street project for App Engineering. Total amount due $714,466.
This is the total.
It's not the total, there's a balance. Where's, Joe, you don't mind, but come and talk us through this invoice, because I know there's a retainage balance on that as well.
Yes, sir. Good evening, and good to see all of you. To explain this, so I have a letter. It did a cover letter because we reviewed the pay estimate, we're recommending payment, but it's to Redstone Construction. You did actual construction, not half. The balance, this is not the total contract. This is all of the quantities that were installed on the site. So there will be no more invoicing for additional pay items. The only thing that is not being requested in this pay app is for retainage, which was a total of $58,799.20. What we do is we hold on to that part of the contract until all the punch out items are satisfied, the project paperwork closeout is satisfied, and that's sort of a little skin in the game for the contractor to make sure that they finish up everything. So once all of that's done, they'll submit a final request for that remaining $58,000, and then that's what would be due to Redstone Construction. So that total, when the project's all said and done, would be on line item 4, page 2, which is the $773,265.70. But what's being requested as of this progress payment is the $714,000.
So, the discrepancy between, 5 and 9, how do we jump up 4 grand for, retainage?
Sit between 5 and 9.
It'll go from like almost 59,000 to 63,000?
The difference is in the total contract amount and then what was installed. So that's about $4,000. So the project's actually going to run under $4,000 from what the original budget was. So that balance to finish was if all the quantities were invoiced. However, they've finished the work as of December, and there's no more quantities to be invoiced. The next pay estimate will show that being revised. What we do with the project closeout is we'll do a change order that reduces the contract amount from what it was to what it finished at, so that matches, and that'll zero that. Okay.
Any other questions? I would ask Jimmy, are you satisfied with the condition of the project? Or do we have punch list items that need to be addressed? I know we've already addressed some.
They come back and done their punch list. I mean, we're gonna go ahead and fix, some of the edges of the road, but they actually done what was in their contract on the job. We're just re-showing it up because I don't want to give it away.
And there's gonna be ongoing maintenance on the road anyway. I know that, but
Right. It's
wanna
gonna
make sure-
be maintenance on it.
As with any road, I just wanna make sure we're satisfied with the product that was
Yes.
anticipated with the project.
Better get them out of here.
And Joe, just so I can get my numbers right for the minutes.
Yes.
You said the retainage, and that may have been what James asked, the retainage was 68,799.20,
50.
and then this retainage shows 58,700.
Yes, ma'am, it's, the retainage is 58,799.20.
So that is the retainage.
Yes, ma'am, that's what's still being held, until everything is closed out. Should be in the next, week or two.
And so then the total was 744,965.74. Do I have my numbers correct?
It'd be 744, should be 714,466 plus the 58,799 and change.
So that's what I'm anticipating is final, when you're finally done with the project, it'll be the 773, 265 and 74 cents, which is about 4,000 less than what the,
So let me just make it clear, what we're looking, what we're asking to resolve tonight with this invoicing, the 714,466.54, with an anticipated additional invoice of 58,799, that could be.
yes, sir. Right, right, it's just the 714, it's a progress payment.
Sure.
Most of the time, a contractor will turn these in monthly, so they're not quite as big. What they did is they held theirs until they finished the project. The day they finish, they submit this. And it's actually just showing up to y'all now and not in December because we had some things we needed them to go finish and fix. And they had a couple items. We said, no, these are wrong. You know, your truck tickets, we spent some time resolving this, and then we turned it in late February. And so it's just now on the council agenda.
So the amount of question that would need to be resolved and be paid is the 714,466.54 now, with the remaining balance to be paid maybe next month.
Yes, sir. I should have it next week. I was hoping to have it for tonight.
We won't
so
have
I
another
could
council
consider it all.
until April.
Right, so you won't see it again until April, yes, sir.
Yeah, so I guess we just need a motion for, resolution, I guess, a financial resolution to.
I'll make a motion that we pay the $714,466.54.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? We'll get a vote on that. Who said that?
Mark Hickman,
Yes.
Cal Martin,
Yes.
James Snyder,
Yes.
Ricky Hammond,
Yes.
Randy Holman.
Yes.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Item B, resolution 2026-12, the city center air conditioning repairs. We already gave the thumbs up on this, kind of looked at it in the workshop, but
Yes.
do we have a total number? I know they ordered some equipment and should be getting it fixed in short order.
Yes, it's ordered, taking a few days for it to come in, and so they push us to the guard place to try to get it fixed. So, yeah, we're looking at 550215, what we need. 550215.
0250. That will fully satisfy their invoices that are currently turned in, that we've already. Motion for resolution 2026-12, to pay 550215 to, let me pull it up, the vendor, what's the name of that place? Northwest
Yes.
Control, yes.
Make a motion to, resolution 2026-12, 5502 and 15 cents.
Northwest Control,
Northwest. Second.
well, we get a roll call on that.
Mark Hickman,
Yes.
Cal Martin,
Yes.
James Snyder,
Yes.
Ricky Hammond,
Yes.
Randy Holman.
Yes.
Thank you, Chief. Part C, resolution 2026-13, the purchase of 6 E1 pumps. Right?
All right, Mr. President, he wants to on that board. So, we had several proposals being funds that are not terrible anymore. The only cost they give you, anything from this track. Basically, it's paid in that pile where one of the days we'll get around and build the hall to the scrapyard. Get y'all approval on that. We're gonna need to order some more dry wells, fuel pumps. We do have, well, up here, to mention to y'all, pump station addicts and, Mountain Crest area. We've had a pump go down there. It's 20 years old. And, we took it to the repair shop, said it's repaired, can you get parts for it? It's all full. They've got a pump in stock there. I was hoping they'd give you a book today on that. Just trying to see if that particular pump will be, the right, pump for that location. They're gonna come out and check the head on that sewer force main there and check the other pump and see where it's at. We've had a few little issues up in that area, mostly on the energy side. You're racing now. We'll be looking, I'll be probably bringing a resolution next month for another pump in that location. And it might be best.
We have a bypass on it now.
No, it's a dual station, so it has 2 pumps in it. The other pump is, we're kind of, the amps are good on it. Everything seems to be good on it, but we're gonna go ahead and have it checked out while they're here and doing the other tests and see what kind, if our head has changed on that sewer system, because there has been some other E1 stations, residential home added on to that force main there. So we might change the head a little bit, and we might have to go to a little bit larger head for it, just to change out that impeller on it, on that particular station. I'm hoping I'll have something by next month. I feel that some were on down the line there. We might all go ahead and get another spare pump for that station. That's the only station that we really don't have a spare pump for. They're pretty good size, but 15 are pumps.
Gotcha. But it's not with this resolution, we're just looking at 6 E1 pump purchased at a price of $19,677.15.
That cost just went up a tad bit from last time, but we ordered some, I believe you're right, about 6 months ago. Yeah. And cost went up just a tad bit.
I entertain a motion on resolution 2026-13.
I'll make a motion. Resolution 2026-13, purchase of 6 E1 pumps. Second.
Motion is second. Ms. Bowles, call the roll.
Mark Hickman,
Yes.
Kyle Martin,
Yes.
James Snyder,
Yes.
Ricky Hammond,
Yes.
Randy Holman.
Yes.
Well, item D, I want to go ahead and introduce this, and if you guys want to table it, that's completely fine. This gentleman reached out to me, it's been over a month ago, it's a month and a half ago, about, just some questions about planning commission and was interested, and I talked to him. He actually came to the planning commission meeting this month and introduced, and it was my consensus that the commissioners were excited about Mr. Clay Parker. He brings a wealth of knowledge, business savvy. He's, Todd's here. I think Todd's not in his head to speak to him. He was not able to make it tonight in his spring break. He had a vacation planned with his family. I plan to go forward with the appointment. I can go ahead and go forward with that appointment, but if you guys want to meet and talk to him first, we can table it. We can do that next month.
Don't feel like it's right for him to be here? Yeah, fine with that.
We have,
No sense in solving that? Right.
Well, I would like to appoint him, I guess need a motion to accept the appointment.
I'll make the motion to accept Mr. Clay Parker on appointment.
Second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes.
Have him come next time.
He was apologetic. He's like, I looked at that, the 24th, we're out of tax. Man, I get it. Great, get it. Guys, item E is an item that was added, later. Chris, if you would like to speak to this resolution, or excuse me, ordinance 2026-12. For regulations to work within right of ways. I think Brandon may even have something to speak to this as well.
I'm sure, I would imagine it impacts the waterworks as well as it does the street department, and I do apologize for bringing this in at the last minute. It's something that's been known that we need to address. Really kind of brought this to a head is we've got multiple companies trying to access our easements throughout the city and throughout the waterworks footprint simultaneously right now. We're not fully staffed in the waterworks, and really at this point, our water department is doing nothing but chasing locates right now. They can't get any of their core business done. All they're doing is fulfilling locate requests and chasing more crews. And Raymond, if I'm misspeaking on any of this, please interject. We've got to a point where we've got Comcast, AT&T, we've got Swift, and we've got TCW, all simultaneously converging on Mayflower and then our footprint outside of municipal boundaries to access easements. We do not have the staff to keep up with that capacity. As it sits right now, we have zero regulation, no way to govern, throttle, slow down any of these locate requests or any of these access requests into our easements. We don't have any rules and regulations. They're going to come in unchecked, and they're going to do whatever they want to do as fast as they can to get in and get out to meet their contractual obligations. It's overwhelming our city, it's overwhelming our water utility, and it's also affecting our street department. We're all involved in this. Our right-of-way, our easements, that's all of our city, water, sewer, electricity, everything is through these easements. And we've got these bore crews just running unchecked, doing whatever they want to do with little oversight. We need some kind of regulatory framework, a permit process to govern this, hold people accountable, and to know who is in our city and where they're working. And this also impacts not only the city, but it's also our neighborhoods. When we got people tearing up your front yards, I guess I can speak for all of you. You don't know who's necessarily tearing up your front yard. And this would actually require some public notification, door hangers, who's working in your yard, give you a good contact number, and explain why they're there. If they don't make your yard whole, they don't return your grass and your soil the way it needs to be, you know who to contact. As of right now, there's no way to know. There's really not. And what this does is set a whole host of framework and protections for the city and the residents within the city, but it also protects the easements and the right-of-way outside of city limits as well. We can't exercise full police powers and enforcement powers beyond the corporate limits, but we can regulate and establish a permit process for every waterworks and city-owned easement and right-of-way outside of city limits too. So what this is going to do is basically make every one of these players come to the table and get a permit. And then we're never going to be in a place, we can't deny an access to an easement. We can say, hey, we've already got one player in town, you're going to have to wait in line. They're going to come, they're going to do what they need to do. They're going to make everything whole, and then you can come back and do what you need to do. But we can't have 5 crews operating simultaneously. They can't keep up. All right, is there anything you want to add?
Yeah, I don't know if any of y'all noticed some of these contractors that the debris they left behind is still laying. They have not even bothered to pick it up. We got several places right down here on 365 that they just piled up right by a power pole, and they left it there.
How much or right of way, like in a regular neighborhood, do they have in the easement there that they can put utility or more?
Well, we've got a road easement, you know, that easement there, and most of the time our utilities are in that road easement. So,
And largely it varies, and
25.
Jimmy, you can speak to that, not every street is the same.
You know, they've got different easements on them. It just depends on what street.
On my street, in my yard, they're halfway up toward my house today, come out there and then, I just wondered how, at some point,
I think there's subdivision like 50-foot each.
so they can get right up close to your house, I guess.
Pretty close.
Look at your windows.
25 foot.
Yeah. That easement, you know, then they're required to get an easement for me. Not just go across your property because they want to. And that's basically what some of them are doing. You know, we tell them to stay 5 feet away from us. You know, and we try to hold them there. This policy right here, this right here will hold them to it. Everybody will get a copy of every contract. We'll get that out to everybody.
To me, this ain't a
PCW,
motorcycle.
everything.
But it also allows us to know who's here, identify point of contacts, and it makes them post a bond, so we can cash that and recover any damages that they don't remedy. And also provides that permit process for administration, and they can't get another permit until they make their previous site whole and it's restored to its previous state, if not better.
Those bonds and permit fees are on the next.
Yes, sir. That's part of the resolution. They want to tie that to the ordinance because that way it's easier to maneuver and adjust those fees by resolution versus ordinance.
So I'd like to make a motion that we pass it on to,
It would have to be. the
okay, go ahead,
procedure because it is
go ahead,
ordinance.
go ahead.
So I move that we suspend the rules, waive the second, third reading of ordinance 2026-12, read the entire ordinance and vote on ordinance 2026-12 after its initial.
Motion to second. James.
And I do apologize. I believe it's 9 pages, so it's.
As far as we stay here, how
Read it, though.
It just kept on going, you know, we went from just 2-3 pages to, Chris has done a fantastic job.
No, I never.
He's helped me tremendously.
I did run through multiple AI tools since our city attorney is unavailable this week and tried to analyze it from both sides, the city side and the contractor side, to see where we could and could not be challenged and whether it would withstand any challenge. I think we've got a pretty healthy product. That's not to say a utility contractor can't try to challenge it, but it's defensible, and I don't see any room for any negotiation here. I think we've got a solved problem.
So we have a motion, so Barbara, please restate the motion.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules, waive the second and third reading of ordinance 26-12, read the entire ordinance, and vote on ordinance 26-12 after its initial reading. Mark Hickman,
Yes.
Hal Martin,
Yes.
James Snyder,
Yes.
Ricky Hansen,
Yes.
Randy Holman.
Yes.
Procedure page.
Oh,
Ms. Barton, please read the ordinance, because our attorney's out. You want to read the ordinance for me? It's,
I would love to read this ordinance. Don't anybody go to sleep. The City of Mayflower, Arkansas, ordinance number 2026-12. An ordinance establishing regulations for work within public rights of way, and city-controlled utility easements, providing for a permitting fee, inspection, and restoration system, requiring compliance with the Arkansas Underground Facilities Damage Prevention Act, Arkansas 811, establishing utility separation standards, establishing board crew operational requirements, authorizing limitations on active permits and crews, establishing a payment moratorium and payment degradation fees, providing for bonding, administrative appeals, enforcements, and penalties, clarifying jurisdictional applicability, declaring an emergency, and for other purposes. Whereas the City of Mayflower, Arkansas City owns, operates, and maintains public streets, rights of way, and public utility infrastructures which constitute essential public assets. And whereas the city streets department and waterworks department operate with limited personnel resources responsible for utility locating, inspection of work within public rights of way, and city controlled utility easements, coordination of construction activities, and protection of critical public infrastructure. And whereas unregulated or excessive concurrent excavation, boring, and utility installation activity exceeds the city's reasonable capacity to safely perform required locates, inspections, and oversight, and increases the risk of damage to public streets, water facilities, and underground infrastructure. And whereas Arkansas Code annotated Title 14 through 71, Arkansas Underground Facilities Damage Prevention Act requires excavation notice, marking and damage reporting compliance, and authorize municipalities to protect underground facilities. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Mayflower, Arkansas. Section 1, repeal and replacement, Chapter 9.08 of Title 9, Streets and Sidewalks of the Mayflower Municipal Code, as previously adopted and amended, is hereby repealed in its entirety and replaced to read as follows. Chapter 9.08, Public Right-of-Way Excavation and Boring, Section 9.08.01, Purpose and Authority. This chapter is adopted pursuant to the city's authority under Arkansas law, including Arkansas Code annotated 14.200, 101, 14.301, and 101 executive, Title 14, Chapter 271, to regulate excavation, boring, construction, and occupancy within public rights of way and city-controlled utility easements to protect public infrastructure, public safety, and the general welfare. Section 9.08.02, applicability. This chapter applies to all persons, utilities, contractors, subcontractors, telecommunication providers, and other entities performing regulated work in any of the following locations. A, public rights of way within the city. All streets, alleys, sidewalks, and public rights of way located within the corporate limits of the city of Mayflower. B, city-controlled utility easement. Any utility easement, right-of-way, or property interest owned, held, leased, or controlled by the city, whether located within or outside the corporate limits, including but not limited to water transmission lines, water service lines, pump stations, tanks, valves, and associated infrastructure. C, city-owned utility facilities and property. All city-owned or city-operated utility facility structures and what is that word? Rick?
It's a bird eye.
Appurtenances?
Including associated access areas and work zones. Work affecting city infrastructure. Any excavation, boring, drilling, or construction activity that crosses, parallels, exposes, supports, or otherwise affects city-owned utilities or infrastructure, regardless of whether the work originates on private property. E, condition of service. Compliance with this chapter may be required as a condition of water service, utility connection, line extension, approval, construction, authorization, or continued use of city utility infrastructure. Section 9.08.03, jurisdictional applicability and extraterritorial limitation. A, this chapter applies to full within the corporate limits of the city. B, this chapter applies outside the city only where work occurs within city-owned or city-controlled property or easements, or where compliance is required as a condition of utility service. Outside of the city's corporate limits, the city may, 1, require permits for work within city-owned or city-controlled waterworks easements. 2, enforce permit conditions, restoration standards, bonding, indemnification, and cost recovery relating to city facilities. 3, enforce compliance with Arkansas Code Title 14, Chapter 271, Arkansas One Call. 4, suspend, revoke, or deny future permits for non-compliance. C, the city shall not enforce municipal criminal penalties outside its corporate limits except as expressly authorized by state law. but may pursue civil remedies, permit revocation, cost recovery, stop work orders, and contractual enforcement. Nothing herein shall be constructed to expand the city's general policy power beyond its corporate limits. Section 9.08.04 definitions. Unless otherwise defined herein, terms shall have the meanings assigned to Arkansas Code annotated 14 through 71.102. City controlled utility easement means any easement or property interest held by the city for utility purposes. Section 9.08.05 right-of-way permit required. A, general requirement. No person or entity shall excavate, transport, drill, cut pavement, install, maintain, renew, remove, relocate, or otherwise disturb facilities within a public right-of-way or city-controlled utility easement without first obtaining a written right-of-way permit issued by the city. A permit authorizes only the work described and conveys no franchise easement or vested property right. B, boring treated as excavation. Directional or horizontal boring is expressly subject to all permit, bonding, inspection, and restoration requirements as open cut excavation. C, emergency work. In the event of an emergency posing an immediate threat to life, health, safety, or significant property damage, excavation or boring may occur without a permit, provided that the permit holder shall notify the city no later than the first working day following the emergency and shall obtain all required permits retroactively. 9.
You're doing great, Barbara.
9.08.06 permit applications and issuance. A, issuing authority. Right-of-way permits shall be obtained from and issued by the city administrator, street superintendent, water superintendent, or their designee upon application made on forms prescribed by the city. B, permit application requirements. Each permit application shall include at a minimum, 1, application information, the name, address, and contact information of applicant, utility, or entity requesting the permit. 2, description of work, a written description of the nature, extent, and purpose of the proposed work, including whether the work involves excavation, boring, trenching, pavement, cutting, installation, repair, relocation, or removal of facilities. 3, location and plans. Plans, sketches, or exhibits of sufficient detail to clearly show the location of the proposed work relative to A, right-of-way or easement boundaries, B, pavement edges, sidewalks, and drainage features, C, existing utilities and city infrastructure, and D, horizontal and vertical clearances where applicable. 4, contractor information, the name, address, and contact information of the contractor and any subcontractors performing the work. 5, on-site representative, the name and telephone number of at least one responsible on-site representative authorized to act on behalf of the permittee during construction. 6, schedule, the proposed start date, anticipated completion date, and any proposed sequencing or phasing of work. 7, financial security, proof of bonding, insurance, or other financial security as required by this chapter or by city policy. 8, Arkansas 811 compliance, proof of compliance with Arkansas 811 locate requirements, or confirmation that locates will be requested prior to excavation. And 9, additional information, any additional information reasonably required by the city to evaluate impacts to public safety, traffic flow, city infrastructure, staffing capacity, or restoration requirements. C, issuance and permit conditions. The city may issue a permit upon determining that the application is complete and that the proposed work complies with this chapter and applicable law. The city may impose reasonable conditions on any permit, including but not limited to 1, traffic control and barricade requirements. 2, work hours, sequencing or phasing. 3, inspection, notification, coordination requirements. 4, temporary and permanent restoration standards, and 5, limitations on concurrent work or crews pursuant to this chapter, the permit term. Each permit shall specify a commencement date and an expiration date. Failure to commence work within 6 months of issue may result in permit expiration unless extended in writing by the city. 9.08.07, limitations on work hours. A, days prohibited. No permitted work shall occur on 1 Friday, 2 Saturday, or 3 Sunday. B, hours prohibited. No permitted work shall occur before 8 a.m. or after 4:30 p.m. on any authorized workday. Section 9.08.08, Arkansas 811 compliance. A, 811 compliance. All excavation activities shall comply with Arkansas 811 requirements as provided in Arkansas Code annotated 14-271-101. Issuance of a city permit does not relieve any person from compliance with state law. All damage to underground facilities shall be reported immediately to the One Call Center and to the city when city facilities are involved. B, timing of locate requests. No locate request shall be made until 1, a valid permit has been issued. 2, the permit is within its approved day range, and 3, the permit holder is prepared to actively commence boring or excavation operation. Nothing in this section shall be construed to prohibit early design stage locate requests which expressly authorized by the city. Section 9.08.09, utility separation requirements. All installations shall maintain minimum horizontal and vertical separations consistent with Arkansas Department of Transportation utility accommodation policy, applicable state and federal standards, and city approved plans and specifications. Telecommunications, fiber, and other non-potable utility facilities installed within a public right-of-way or city-controlled utility easement shall maintain a minimum horizontal separation of 5 feet from any public water main or water service line unless otherwise approved by the city. Where utilities cross a minimum vertical separation of 18 inches shall be maintained with the water line installed above the telecommunications facility wherever practicable. Alternative separation distances or protective measures may be approved by the city administrator, street superintendent, or water superintendent when strict compliance is impractical and the public water system is adequately protected. Section 9.08.010, limitation on active permits, spacing, and crews. A, staffing and capacity funding. The City Council finds that the city staffing levels require regulation of the number of simultaneous right-of-way and boring operations to protect public infrastructure and ensure safe inspection. The city may limit the number of active permits or crews operating at any given time based on staffing capacity, inspection availability, public safety, infrastructure protection, restoration, workload, and emergency readiness. Limitations shall be applied in a non-discriminatory manner and may include permit queuing or phased issuance. B, authority to limit permits. The city administrator or designee may, 1, limit the total number of active permits citywide. 2, limit the number of simultaneous boring operations within the waterworks system. 3, require phased construction schedule. 4, delay issuance of permits when inspection, locate, or staffing capacity is exceeded. Such limitations shall be based on operational capacity and shall not constitute a denial of due process. Section 9.08.11, pavement moratorium. No excavation shall be permitted with any street resurfaced within the previous 5 years except by written waiver requiring enhanced restoration. Section 9.08.12, pavement degradation fees. Payment degradation fees may be assessed for excavation and payment less than 10 years old as established by City Council resolution. Section 9.08.13, fees, bonding and billing, permit fees, inspection fees, reinspection fees, payment restoration charges, degradation fees, and bonding requirements shall be established by City Council resolution. Such fees are intended to offset administrative inspection, restoration, and infrastructure protection costs and may be amended from time to time by resolution without amendment to this chapter. Failure to pay may result in permit suspension or denial of future permits. Section 9.08.14 bore crew requirements. All boring, directional drilling, or horizontal boring operations conducted within the city or within city-controlled utility easements shall comply with the following minimum requirements. 1. Advanced resident notification shall be provided by door hangers prior to commencement of work. 2. Readable signs shall be placed at job sites. 3. Pre-construction photographs shall be taken of affected improvements, including but not limited to driveways, mailboxes, drainage features, landscaping, and visible structure. 4. Open holes shall be protected at the end of each workday. 5. Daily cleanup of streets, yards, and rights of way shall be performed. 6. Trash, oil, and waste shall not be buried and shall be removed from the job site daily. 7. Access to driveways and mailboxes shall not be blocked at any time. 8. Fencing shall be placed around any open holes at the end of the workday. 9. A responsible on-site representative shall be present who is capable of effectively communicating with city officials and affected residents. 10. No boring or drilling shall be permitted on Fridays, Saturdays, or Sundays. 11. No boring or drilling shall be permitted after 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday, unless expressly approved in writing by the city. 12. No work shall occur on city-observed holidays. 13. Utility or infrastructure damage shall be reported immediately to the city and repaired promptly. 4. Damage to any infrastructure is the sole responsibility of the contractor and/or subcontractor, and the city shall not be responsible for the settlement of any damage claims. 15. All stop work orders and permit conditions shall be complied with immediately. 16. Upon completion of permitted work, a file inspection shall be requested prior to permit closeout. 17. No advancement to another location shall occur without issuance of a new permit. Completion of required restoration, including sod, landscaping, and service repairs within the permitted areas, shall be required before issuing an additional permit for continued boring operations. 18. Subcontractor vehicles shall be clearly marked with business names. 19. A valid telephone number for the party responsible for the subcontractor shall be provided to the city. 20. Replacement sod shall be the correct brass type consistent with surrounding areas. 22. No equipment shall be left in any yard, and empty spools shall be removed from the site. And 22. Locating shall not be requested until the contractor is ready to begin boring. Failure to comply with this section shall constitute a violation of this chapter and may result in stop work orders, permit suspension, or revocation, bond forfeiture, citation, and recovery of city costs. Section 9.08.15 Restoration Requirements. A. Temporary restoration. The permit holder is responsible for immediate temporary restoration sufficient to maintain public safety and traffic flow. B. Permanent restoration. Permanent restoration shall be completed in accordance with city standards and may be performed by the city or its contractor unless otherwise approved. C. Completion required prior to new permits. No new permit shall be issued to any applicant with outstanding, incomplete, or deficient restoration obligation. D. Restoration standards. All restorations shall meet or exceed the standards adopted by the Arkansas Department of Transportation Utility Accommodation Policy, including compaction materials and pavement section replacement. Section 9.08.16 Administrative Review and Appeal. Administrative review may be requested within 10 business days. Appeals may be submitted to the mayor, whose decision shall be filed subject to judicial review. Section 9.08.17 Enforcement and Penalties. A. Enforcement Authority. The city administrator, street superintendent, water superintendent, code enforcement officer, or their designee may enforce this chapter through stop work orders, permit suspension, revocation, bond forfeiture, cost recovery, and citation. B. Fines and penalties. Any person or entity violating any provision of this chapter, a permit, condition, or stop work order shall be subject to fines and penalties as authorized by Arkansas Code Annotated 1455-504 as amended. C. Maximum fines. Pursuant to Arkansas Code Annotated 1455-504, The maximum fines that may be imposed for violations of this chapter are as follows. 1, first offense, a fine not to exceed $1,000. 2, second offense, a fine not to exceed $2,000. 3, third and subsequent offenses, a fine not to exceed $4,000. And 4, continuing violations, where a violation is continuous in nature, a fine not to exceed $500 per day for each day the violation continues. The non-exclusive remedies. The imposition of fines under this section shall not preclude the city from pursuing any other lawful remedy, including injunctive relief, permit revocation, denial of future permits, recovery of restoration costs, or enforcement against posted bonds or other financial security. E, emergency clause limitation. Notwithstanding the emergency clause of the adopting ordinance, no fine, penalty, forfeiture, or deprivation of liberty or property shall be imposed until after publication or posting of this ordinance as required by law. Section 2, severability. If any provision of this ordinance is held invalid, such invalidity shall not affect remaining provisions. Section 3, repeal of all ordinance or parts thereof in conflict herewith or repeal to the extent of such conflict. Section 4, emergency clause. An emergency clause is declared to exist for the immediate protection of public safety and city infrastructure, and this ordinance shall be effective immediately upon passage and approval, providing, however, that an emergency clause shall not be effective to impose any fine, penalty, forfeiture, or deprivation of liberty or property until after the ordinance has been published or posted as required by law, passed and approved.
That's what a filibuster feels like. No, that was only 20 minutes.
I move we adopt,
Well, we did great.
I move we adopt ordinance 2026-12.
We have a motion and a second, both of you each stating the motion. The motion,
Yes, I'll be that. We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 2026-12.
any discussion?
It seems like there's two different versions.
She has one that I fine tuned it, and so you're the only one, I guess, without the newest version. There was nothing substantive.
Actually, I went in another place where it just got rearranged. It was,
redundant language.
yes. You're good, Barbara. Got it in your mind, but I just. Barbara, can you call the roll? If there's no other questions.
Yeah, so there's not anything that we need to.
There's nothing that were, changed or modified that affects the substance of the ordinance. It's literally, I just deleted some extra language and some fluff, just to actually trim it down just a little bit.
So you're saying it would have been 10 minutes shorter meeting?
No, you read the short version. You did have the shorter one, yeah.
Mark Hickman,
Yes.
Kyle Marks,
Yes.
James Snyder,
Yes.
Yes.
Randy Holmes.
Yes. Thank you, gentlemen. And the emergency clause.
I move we adopt or accept the emergency clause of ordinance 2026-12.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the emergency clause of ordinance 2026-12.
Discussion. You call the roll?
Mark Hickman,
Yes.
Kyle Marks,
Yes.
James Snyder,
Yes.
Ricky Hammond,
Yes.
Randy Holmes.
Yes.
Thank you, gentlemen. And this next part, item F, should go much more quickly. It's a resolution that was mentioned, the fee schedule and permitting, schedule that was mentioned in ordinance 2026-12, is including resolution 2026-14.
I move we adopt resolution 2026-14. Second.
I'll read the title of that resolution. Within their meeting, pay it out.
Resolution 2026-14, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Mayflower, Arkansas, establishing a permit fee schedule and surety bond requirements for right-of-way excavation, boring, and utility work pursuant to Chapter 9.08 of the Mayflower Municipal Code and for other purposes.
There's no further discussion. Ms. Barber, can you call the roll?
Mark Hickman,
Yes.
Al Martin.
Yes.
James Snyder,
Yes.
Ricky Hammond,
Yes.
Randy Holman.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, on here we have the UDO, just as a reminder, guys, look at that, or we can dig in next month, we're getting that passed, in ordinance. So if we have those zonings on, Chris, did you have anything to add about that?
Well, like I said, any feedback that y'all had or any concerns or questions before we really kind of does, we need to do the town halls and have public input buy-in before we actually try to present this to council in a formal way. So beyond that, I don't want to schedule anything until I get any feedback. And if y'all don't have any feedback, that's perfectly okay. But I don't want to do a town hall until y'all are good with the product that we presented. Because if we do need to make any modifications, I want to do that and then take it to the people.
Sounds good. I do have one other item of business, Jimmy Joe, you come on up here.
We're gonna increase your budget.
I get that.
He said he was gonna ask for $1,000. So for those that don't know, Jimmy Joe has decided he's gonna go off route fishing.
Yeah. That's right.
From here out, so Jimmy, for years and years of dedicated service for our family, thank you for all you've done for our city. We've got a plaque we want to present to you, says congratulations on your retirement, Jimmy Joe Johnson. It's sincere appreciation for your 33 years of dedicated service to the city of Mayflower.
All right. Hey, Big City's done a lot for me.
Well, we appreciate it.
I should have got this crawfish.
That is right.
Sorry, Wendy had something to say too.
The Mayflower Chamber of Commerce would like to also give Jimmy a little token of our appreciation for all your hard work. Whenever we reach out to have you do anything, you never complain, you just do it, and we appreciate you, and we appreciate all your hard work.
You.
Right. We do appreciate you, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Any other public comments?
I wanted to bring this up. Needs to be talked about. I think everybody's doing a dandy of their job. I really do. But we're making a lot of rules. We're passing a lot of ordinances. And yet, people are coming in and disobeying and going against the rules and doing what they need to do, want to do, without anybody enforcing what we have. The vineyard is an example. I can't lay the blame at anybody's feet because I know Mr. Matthews is probably one of the busiest men in the city of Mayflower. We're gonna have to consider giving him some help or rearranging ours. If we don't, there's no sense in passing anything else until we can enforce what we've got. When we put the, Vineyard 2, when we started that, I remember specifically talking about the sidewalks and the lights and the things that in the neighborhood didn't happen. Now we've gone back and we've had, Mr. Matthews gone back and done a cease and desist, because they're going against the city's rules and regulations. The point is we need somebody that can stay on top of these, that that can make it come to pass and put teeth in the wood.
I, I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I think Mr. Matthews does as well. I think what that's gonna include is continuing to shoot some things around in budget to try to expand our code, our building code enforcement, which we've had several talks about. Expanding that out to, right now it's being contracted out, but maybe look at having someone that's available that is more in line with our record keeping and things that are in line. Mr. Wood's doing a great job now for us, best he can do, but to actually have someone here that's documenting in a way that we can follow, but it's not just sign off on kind of the way things were, but moving, and Mr. Woods can even transition in the way things are going to be. I think Chris Matthews will agree that, I heard it said the other day that every time we find a loose string and we start to pull on, we have 4 more that come unraveled, and eventually we're gonna find a good end. When we get all these policies in place where we can, instead of stopping chasing the day of a council meeting, having to come up with something to head something off, head off problem where this is being proactive in a way, but getting more proactive and flipping more teeth in and giving the city services the support they need to do what needs to be done. We're getting there.
That sounds good, but again,
It's gotta be done.
Mr. Woods has been here a long time. Mr. Matthews is not, not in this current position. I mean, his hands are full. And I understand you've been doing things that need to be done for a city that for a long time. So you're stretched both things. So I'm not complaining. I'm saying we need to get him some help ASAP because it's very frustrating for somebody to come to me in the city and say, hey, isn't this against the rules? And I say, yeah, well, they're doing it anyway. When they go back and look at the rule, we've got to do something about that ASAP. Thank you.
So something similar to that, along that line with, in relation to budget, being good stewards of our budget and everything. I've got some hardware still with police department and structure and everything like that. And I've got some specific questions, really for you. And so what I'm requesting, and specifically in relation to the assistant chief position. So I'd like to understand if you can provide documentation demonstrating how the hiring complied with city policy at the time. I have on here a formally approved job description with defined qualifications and responsibilities. I think we have that now, but that wasn't in place when the hire was made. So basically we hired a position and then made the description for it to fit the person, I think, is the way it seems like. Clarification of the assistant chief's role, expectations, and operational function. And then an explanation of why this decision proceeded prior to policy formalization, despite her flexibility. Because you remember we talked about, why can't we just put this off a little bit until we get our policies in place? Because we were just about to do that, but instead a decision was made to just skip that. An intentional decision was made to skip that. And you don't have to answer anything.
No, it's not. I would like those requested, but I think, yeah. But I would also, and it was gonna bump this night, but I would like to ask for an executive session since we are talking about a specific employee in a specific position as far as that goes. There are some detailed personnel matters that can be discussed in public forum. We're at the end of our regular business. We will have to come back into a regular session, close out with the decision or no decision at the end of an executive session. But I would like to have a short executive session to give some of these answers.
You want to do that tonight or?
Yes.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay.
Hey, is the last page.
So. Well, the one you had was the most comfortable. Yeah, I mean, 95% of what we tried, there was just a few little misses. That got corrected. So like I said, after we gave the votes, I pushed out the council to try to do that with to read. And then Paul's product, again, just like the Ohio president, so we low as life. But hey, we got it over there. So tomorrow, I'll work on the actual information. We have posted in the process, then I gotta get it on the website. I mean, there's no, nothing actionable we need
Don't
to
come see me.
send off.
Don't come see me. Bang on the door.
It's Thursday, maybe we'll do it. Yeah.
No, but he does, he bangs on the door anyway.
The game's changed. I handed all mine out.
Jimmy, I think you started working there before I was even born. With your quill.
The ordinance 2612, the resolution was 2614.
When did you start working there? Oh, okay. Well, October of '89. Yeah. Yeah, Lacey was born in '86. Yeah.
I don't know, sorry.
No, '85, Lacey was born in '85.
Earlier, this was, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, personal.
I thought Stacy was on there.
I just let everybody know you're that close to the light.
Right, girls usually are.
Yes, it is.
Apparently, I was the bad baby too. And believe it or not, I'm the nice one. Lacey's the quiet one, but everybody knows Lacey's the nice one. Yeah.
I probably ain't seen her back in college.
It's been a while. Yeah. 5:30. Yes, I'm staying. I ain't got nothing else to do. I'm gonna be up all night. Y'all gonna be out there with spotlights? Oh, okay.
Well, it's Chris's fault. Chris's fault and Raymond's. They kept adding to it. Kept thinking of something else that needed to go in there.
Show you exactly what I'm doing. I want to say where it's over here.
No, we gotta get a resolution for that one.
Yeah, this is. Why don't you go?
Covering all the bases.
If you, and I'm not sure that if y'all like the option line, there's a URL that you can for. Yeah.
Now it's starting to get dry.
It's kind of like, you got it. You got it. But it's so basic. I can get it. Yeah. Yeah. We have violations. Yeah. I know that it's probably what you. I don't think that Yeah. When we were questioning, God, I was like, hey, how many chairs we have? You know, I said, some are students. We can. Who is that placement where you're going? This is word with that ass. Well, that's. Well, that. Second, that. James doesn't have good. So, get you more contact with shoes on school campuses, he goes right on that. History of all the assets.
At least y'all get on there, take a beat.
We have organized something else.
I feel like I always come to here school time. It's every time. That's true.
Better than about.
Yeah, and if I come from my house and I go that way, sometimes I just go all the way. It's like, out that way, I just completely bypass the road, you know? Yeah. Right. But it gets me past a lot of it, you know, at the beginning.
So, but with all of that should open the door, hopefully, they open. This is what we do. This hard down.
Yeah, she's pretty right on for them, but it's also gonna be PR too. It's not just like we're gonna take all these good donations and risk it. Y'all genuinely make a difference. It's lots of them too. So it's not.
We have a high relationship with our there's a whole area but I it's wrong.
I knew it was gonna rain, but I didn't know the time was gonna drop.
It's like awesome. So we get that connection point. And that's I really want to
I needed to make up its mind. I'm tired of it today and all that stuff. I can't stand it. Keeps me all messed up.
But you talk about it. It's hard.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
You gotta identify what you
That's it's first. That's a huge deal.
It's supposed to be, I think, in the high sixties maybe, and it's supposed to.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday's got Jesus around. And I was like, I'm gonna have 30 kids at my house.
those numbers are.
Easter eggs in the mud or inside my house.
And we fought that.
That's usually how it goes.
It's skewed. You know, they said we're not elder. Get that on paper, we're not, but realistically. So it's out.
But what about the 10 days before?
Only as we ended.
Yeah, I hope they're right.
Right. Everything's That's it's a subdivision. Think about it. Build out.
Tell everybody bring the
That's
bushels.
one thing on later.
Bring the bushels. We got a lot. Okay, so it's coming up, this is the last time we'll leave. I hope they missed the holiday. I hope it's sunny and maybe it'll come to the day before.
We ought to be bouncing. As far as just the friction feeds and what well, it's gonna bring our customer.
It was hot, it was like 90. Yeah, I was outside trying to get yard work done, because I hadn't been able to get anything done. I was outside both days, and I was like, you're gonna be sick again. And I was like, I don't care, I'm sick anyway. Doesn't matter. My back got
Yeah.
So look, we will. But yeah, you gotta keep cognizant. Simultaneously.
well, everything else was pretty short.
It's about, it's easy to get lost in one or the other. As I've always said, it's open, everything I need to call you. If you need advice, she got a question. I can refer you to her, she knows everything about Mayflower. She, while we're talking, so we just talk so much. I said, if he ever has a question, about anything, you have an answer, or you know someone that has.
I've just been here a long time. Nice to meet you.
I mean, literally, she knows somebody that does.
Thank you for your vote.
I have been proven wrong.
Here.
I was gonna ask you how long you've been here.
Well,
Yeah, I didn't give it a look. You got
He had a
I, we've talked about moving here, it's just, we have a roofing bill, so this is a very good work, very really good stuff. We're lucky that we've got, my wife.
So, take your reading. Right.
And we're just like, so we feel like I'm down there, she's going to come.
Yeah. You know, I've been really fortunate to be able to support people because, when we moved here, and it's kind of like back then, you know, the traffic wasn't everybody wants to.
Right.
You know, so I, the golden border was quit. And, you know, so I started working and
So what all do you think?
my title is city clerk. So,
Yeah.
city clerk, right now I do the permitting and like, really like it. But I was in Florida for like probably over 20 years. And, you know, it's grown. You know, we used to it didn't have Bruce Gray like one, which is really good. But yeah, it's been a good 10 years.
We're just excited to get community.
But I, you know, I can understand if you got a good arrangement. And
I'm curious. Monday,
it's still pretty happy. That you can accept it.
Is our church is all
He was, do not just one good life. So you could, over this guy.
Yeah, so I think we will come out. Probably like, we got first here, it would be 2 thirds. The different reviews. Probably got to, it's one of the things that we do, tends to be. You know, they may be.
This one, these two.
Yeah. See, unless you want Christmas Easter. So, those are the people that you go, okay, how do we get involved? How do we get millennials to also have those kids? So, for us, there's that battle of, okay, we want to help. But we don't have fights for their kids. No, they're definitely not thinking about it. I mean, that's just the way it is. So, we're fighting. We're not. Whenever I was in Little Rock,
Yeah.
we had all these systems and like celebrate, so like I'm really, this is like, for me, this is honestly all I think about you. But we're, I'm gonna move to mom. I don't know. So, we're trying to get, the good feel of like where I can guess. Being there, but when you get from there, what is it? What's on your heart? What do y'all need to? And then what plan is? It's probably 40. I could do 40 things. 40 things one time. It's always finding the source of not why you go upstream and you go, okay, that's the problem. Whatever that is. And they start to see it, especially the little ones. They see what's going on. So they look like having a program that stays first. And walking through the whole thing. Have a program called 100 Days. That's exactly what they do. So their whole sort of is getting families with crisis, stability. And they just look like keeping their kids, you know. So we have like a network of just like I the goal is to get those counselors they are a crisis response team. And they have like these mobile kitchens. I also know a few years after.
It will be Monday.
They got us a lot.
Yeah, I think that was, especially when there's like a disaster, you know, because we had.
Uh-huh.
And then we had, it was Samaritan's Purse.
Yeah.
Came out.
Yes.
They got sent to Lucy.
Yeah, we have a partnership with, it's called Build a Show. They do this.
I think each church has, I mean, I don't,
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Building Hope is its own thing, they just don't do it.
there's a bill vendor,
There's some of them. They're all the good.
they do.
So it's amazing.
I know that.
Get so mad.
Second year, that, second half of, six months. You didn't have insurance the second. Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, because the first one is.
Oh, yeah.
The guy that's Andy, who's the one that has the contract with us. It's Barbara. And it's Mathis. ATHES. And I feel like it's 501, 68. This is my 44th year. And with Jimmy, it just got the flag and marched over and spoke about the pumps. The three of us have about 17 years together. Raymond has 40, Jimmy has 33, and I have 44. So then,
Twice,
yeah,
makes a lot of sense.
that's good. I love what I do.
Yeah.
So I said, you know, they need a job title.
Right.
You know, right on the other side of me. Yeah.
Let me know. Somebody went over, got the phone.
You read up there.
Send me a list. Can you do better? I'll work with you. I'll do
And he knew when he
definitely excited. Trying to figure out what it is that city needs. Also, just there's something just going after it. And I just also told it's not a problem. It's part of the churches, but I also don't want to go. No, this is so it's not a need, you know.
Exactly. It needs to be.
It's a journey. Yeah, for sure. And that's one of our core values. It's like, we always say, you know, in church,
Everybody needs to work together.
That's even like. Everybody's straight, such a thing, all the thing.
If we're going in different directions, you know, it's. I think Zach is maybe one every night mayor. And Rick is mayor, like over 16 years.
Who's that?
Randy, he was the mayor for 65 years. But he decided not to run.
James, you solved all the world's problems? So you solved all the world's problems?
What I did?
And it was really cold here. I was like, someone must have gave you a
Heck yeah, man. Let the Yankees go.
That's right.
All right, we're back in regular session. I would like to report publicly, no formal decision was made in regard to that personnel matter, in this particular executive session, this evening. For those of you that hung around, I appreciate you. Any other public comment? All right, our next regular city council meeting is scheduled for 6:30 PM on Tuesday, April 28th, 2026. The next planning commission meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, April 14th at 6:30 PM. And the next city council workshop will be on Thursday, April 9th at 6:30 PM. There are no other comments or concerns?
Motion for adjournment. Second.
All
Okay, a few waivers. Yeah, it is regular. Good job.
You got a fire.
Well, he does. Oh, he's
Never have enough money.
But why can't he go there? He's both.